So here we are once again. We're going to continue our discussion on mental toughness and resilience. Earlier we talked about visualization. We talked about segmenting. We talked about arousal control and how to control our emotions and our breathing. And all these obviously are related in some sort. And self-talk is one of those, and that's number 4. With regard to self-talk, we can encourage ourselves or discourage ourselves, and we know that very well. Probably more how we can discourage ourselves. I can't do it. I don't have the ability, or I'm not strong enough, or I don't have that kind of skill. I wasn't born with it. Well, most people weren't born with skills, and most people can't do things, especially when they say they can't, because they're right. But that's not necessarily reality for anyone. I think, and I believe, and people have proven it, that we can accomplish almost anything we set our minds to. It's just a matter of setting our minds to it. And one of our ways that our mind, if it's set, can control how we feel and how we perform, it's through self-talk. Now, self-talk can be overrated, obviously, but the key is to listen to the good self-talk and encourage yourself and not discourage yourself, and not listen to the negative thoughts of I can't do it, or it's too hard, or oh, I hurt. And the second we feel a little bit of pain, we hold back or we stop doing whatever it is we're doing. Self-talk, talking to yourself as a coach, and telling yourself, instead of talking yourself out of something, you talk yourself into it, basically. And you tell yourself, yes, I can do this. And you remind yourself of what your goal was when you were comfortable, when you were starting out to try to reach your goal. So that when times get tough and you're in the middle of trying to reach that goal, you don't want to quit, because you remember how it was and how it felt when you started out seeking that goal. And you remind yourself that, no, my goal is to do this, not to quit. My goal is to do this, not to fail. My goal is to accomplish this or that. And then, of course, with the segmentation and all the rest, you start to develop a system in which you can talk to yourself positively and encourage yourself, and on top of it, segment into smaller tasks and accomplish those tasks and gain confidence as you run, and visualizing yourself crossing that winner's line, for example, if you're running a race, or visualize yourself doing those push-ups or pull-ups that we mentioned, or any other thing, visualizing yourself acing an exam. Self-talk, you positively self-talk to yourself that, one, you can do it. If other people can do it, you can do it, and that's a good one to remember. You got to believe that. People aren't better than you. If someone else can do it, then it's possible to be done, and you too can accomplish it. The 5th thing that we're talking about is compartmentalization. And with that, we take our negative feelings and emotions and we put them in a little compartment, in a box. We kind of tamp them down, we box them up and put them on a shelf and save them for later. Yeah, we can deal with the negativity, or we can deal with how we feel, or whatever else, or the situation, how bad it is, for example, and put it in a box and put it on a shelf, so that we do not let that drag us down and keep us from focusing on the task at hand. One example might be your car breaks down, you have to change a tire, but it's in the middle of a snowstorm. Well, you put the fact that you're cold, you put the fact that you are cold and it is cold outside, you put the fact that you have broke down tire, instead of getting all emotionally wrapped up in the desperateness of it all, you actually change your tire, because that's the task at hand, and you compartmentalize all the other stuff, the negative emotions, the feelings that you have, the idea that you don't want to do something, and you put that away and just focus on the task at hand, because after all, the task at hand is what has to be done. You don't have a choice in the matter, because if you have a choice, you're going to choose failure, you're going to choose quitting, you're going to choose those types of things. You won't have the tolerance the mental toughness, for example, to say, no, this has to be done. I don't have a choice. This is my job. This is my duty, whatever the task is. And you just go and do it because that's what you have to do. And you determine to do it that way. So you compartmentalize all the negativity and the bad thoughts that you might be having to the desires to want to be out of that situation and just concentrate on the task at hand. And it allows you to focus. Focus and concentration in its own right, that's number 6, is a way that you can build mental toughness and resilience. And when you are in a comfortable state, you can focus on certain things as opposed to being distracted. Many people, they're on their phone constantly, and if you're watching this video, don't stop. But otherwise, put away your phone for a while and just concentrate on whatever you have. For example, if you're at work, you don't go back to your phone and keep on checking it. You have to focus on whether it be your customer or stocking the shelf or doing whatever it is you're doing. You're writing a paper, you concentrate on doing that kind of research and not be distracted by, oh, what's on social media nowadays, or what's on social media at this minute, who texted me. The text can wait and all that kind of stuff. You have to learn to focus and to concentrate, and that takes a degree of mental discipline, and it's not going to perhaps happen overnight, especially if you've developed bad habits, but it can happen. The other thing is doing something that requires a lot of focus and attention and concentration. If you can do that, then you will be more resilient to do it in other times where you wouldn't be inclined to. But the job and task obviously at hand is what has to be focused upon, and not being distracted every minute of every day by this or that, or I got another Snapchat post or some other kind of thing. What's happening on Facebook 5 minutes from now type of thing. So those are ways to become resilient and mentally tough. And I hope that if you practice those, that'll help, and it'll develop you into a all-around good person, good employee, a good father or mother, a good businessman, and also, for that matter, a good warrior or spy. With that being said, don't forget to subscribe or even like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Thank you.